What's up, my beautiful peeps? I hope everyone is doing well out there. We are live on Instagram and YouTube for your weekly energy report. I hope you guys are doing well. So there is a lot going on out there, like all year. What's up, brother? So the energy is very static right now. It feels very, let me fix this here. Sorry about that. The energy feels very, very just still, right? Is a lot of shifting and a lot of changing is taking place. And with this Mars now in, getting into the swing of things of being retrograde, we have, we're basically being like called out on whatever it is that we're trying to force in life is coming to the forefront. It's coming to become obvious. So if you are like with this static energy, it makes everything very intense, very extreme. So like the slower the planets move, the more up on the surface. It's all like percolating on the surface, right? There's a whole lot of percolating going on, and that is moving through our body. Like I know personally, I can feel it in my physical body. And it is intense. All right. So we must stay attuned to what is right. And if something feels off, it's going to be so obvious right now, like you just cannot miss it. All right. It's like you cannot deny it. If you try to force it, you're going to be hurting yourself. So yeah, Susie, I'm glad you can make it too. So this energy report will be from the 15th to the 21st. And before I really get into the deep subject of the energy, I want to thank you guys for all being here. And check out my Chiron Ascension Navigation reading. It's a brand new reading that I'm doing because there's a lot of ascension going on right now, and the energy is very prominent. And when we understand this energy, we are able to identify the energy of Chiron in our chart. And the way to navigate it is through mastering the letting go of control of the Saturnian influence in our life, whatever it is in our natal chart and progress chart for right now. We learn to let go of that influence through the vulnerability of the Chiron energy, and then that will activate the Uranian energy, and we can identify that in your chart and learn to see the process of flow that goes. Because you'll see that, flow comes like, if you're not aware of it, it'll come in, it'll seem to come out of nowhere and then just go out of nowhere. But in order to be able to, hey, what's up, guys? But in order to be able to be able to calculate it, to be able to measure it, to be able to work through it, we have to be able to identify where in our consciousness it's getting stuck, where we have to focus our consciousness to let go or be vulnerable or like go into our fear or what we're going into and why, like emotionally. And then see when we go into that, what influence is going to come up that is the Uranian Kundalini kind of energy. And when we can identify this, then we can look for it, so to speak, when it comes up, and we can navigate it much more efficiently. And that's going to allow us to really navigate this process way better. It'll shave years off the dark night of the soul, let me tell you. So go check that out. Go check out that reading. It's on my website now, and my level 1 and level 2 astrology courses is of course up for download on there as well. So thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all you guys very much. This entire month is going to be just like a very intense energy because Saturn is basically standing still in the sky. But thank God we do have Jupiter that just went direct. So now Jupiter is going to start speeding up. So you're going to notice like maybe like there was a short period of time there where it's like, fuck, nothing's working. What the hell am I supposed to do? But now that Jupiter is moving direct, it's like, okay, now some things that have been very stagnant are starting to come into fruition and starting to flow a little bit better. So that's a plus. And then of course, thank you. I appreciate that. So, next month, once Saturn and Pluto go direct, that's when things are really going to pick up, not till about the middle of next month though. Okay. So this week in particular right now, we have a lot of like taking inventory. This is a very taking inventory time, especially we're coming into the new moon in Virgo in 2 days on the 17th. And I'll go into that a little bit here. But I'm also going to make a separate video on that as well. So Ironically too, we have a couple yods going on this week. So you guys know I'm all about the yods, and because especially with the energy being so static, being so still, it's really highlighting the energy of these things that need to come up. Basically, a yod is pointing out something in our consciousness that needs to go, right? So this could be like a breakdown, breakthrough. This could be like being super triggered. This can be like your schedule, like you can't sleep. You're having a hard time, like keeping your diet on track. Like you're having a hard time keeping something going because some shift, something is taking place where it's changing course. Okay, and even today, right now, we have a yod. Uh, and it is between the North Node and the Moon. Now, this is actually a little while ago, but the energy is still, pertinent. We have the Moon sextile to the North Node, and they are both quincunx over to Saturn. I would say Saturn and Pluto because now they're little less than 3 degrees away. 3-degree orbit for those planets is definitely legit. And look, they've been within 7 degrees of each other this entire year. So it's like this energy has never gone away, right? It's always been in the background. It's just getting a little stronger right now, especially because they're basically sitting still. And like we were saying, the stiller they are, the stronger they are. And Pluto is going to be going direct just, a week after Saturn does. So both these planets are just like, wow, 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 wow. The energy is deep. It's percolating. It's sitting there and it's just waiting for things to just go, right? So this week, it's kind of like a calm before the storm, if you will. The storm is not going to start to happen until next month, all right? But I think that's a good thing because it's almost like right now we got to get our affairs in order. We need to get organized. So Virgo new moon, it's all about organization. It's all about structure. It's also this inventory. I keep coming back to this inventory thing. It's like, okay, who's in my life? Who's not in my life? What do I want? What do I not want? What feels right? What doesn't feel right? We've got to be brutally honest with ourselves and see, what's going on, what's good, what's not, where we want to go, where do we not want to go, what flows. This is all about listening to the flow state and going into that flow state and allowing that flow state to just take over. Okay, the more we allow flow state to take over, the more we are going to feel good, feel productive, feel like in our body. If we're fighting anything right now, it's going to hurt big time like a mofo. Okay, so this yod today, the learned lesson is at Saturn, is at the structure, and with Saturn basically sitting still in the sky, this is just, Saturn has just been beating the crap out of us for a while. Thank God this is like the last, like it's almost out of Capricorn. Once Saturn gets out of Capricorn, like I think at least, well, maybe because I'm a Capricorn that's stronger than most, but but finally it's going to move away from Pluto, right? Like the Jupiter-Pluto conjunction is going to be gone. Like things are going to start to finally expand and open up and be ready to move into this next level, this next phase. So also with Jupiter now direct, now it's traveling towards Pluto again. Now it's not going to exactly conjunct until November. It's exactly conjunct between the 7th and the 13th of November. Okay, so from now and then, though, it's getting closer and closer and closer. So this is the third of 3 conjunctions. So this is closing out a deep, massive, intense cycle of purging out the stuff that doesn't belong in our heart. Really, this is all, I feel like Pluto represents the deepest part of our heart, of our soul, of our experience, the deepest part of our fear, the deepest part of the stuff, the secrets that we don't even want to tell ourselves. This is stuff that's coming up that we're acknowledging and that we're gonna have to really face and feel and let go of and move through. Now, at this point in the game, though, it's a third of 3, so all the deep darkness, it's already come up. It's almost like at this point we're like, all right, universe, just take it, just go, it is what it is. We've been here, done that, got the T-shirt, like it's much more automatic to surrender now than it was before. Still don't feel good, but we get it now. It's like, okay, universe, I get it, I see it, I feel it, I hear it. Like let's make it happen. All right, so this is going to be emotional. Really sort of identifying these more solid emotional boundaries of what do we want, what do we don't want, okay? And then solidifying those going into our future that still feels like there's so much unknown going on, but at the same time, it's like we know we have to follow this feeling, but the feeling is still sort of like I'm walking blindfolded in the dark. I don't know where I'm going. So we have to walk in faith. And it's the faith that's going to determine where and how far we walk and where we go. Okay. So we have the moon right now in Leo, and tomorrow it'll go into Virgo as it comes into this new moon on the 17th. So this new moon, it's happening at exactly 25 degrees. Now, what's interesting is that it's 25 degrees, 0 minutes. I don't think I've ever seen 0 minutes on a new or full moon before. So that's very interesting. And, 2 plus 5 is 7, and 0, that's like, 7 represents, source energy, and then 0 is the void space. So this is like, and Virgo represents purity, purification, right? Clearing it out. And it is a mutable energy. So it's so interesting because, a lot of Virgos that I know, they're very like, it has to be done this way, right? Very structured, very like, let's do this. It has to be done on this schedule, but they're a mutable sign. So they're made like essentially to be able to adapt. But I think that, there's that shadow and light side of Virgo. Virgos are incredibly good at structuring things and getting things done. But when you get caught in the structure and get like almost addicted to the structure, that's the problem. And in esoteric astrology, Chiron rules Virgo. Okay. That's another thing, if you want to get my astrology course, go ahead, check that out. I go way deep into that and teach really big into Chiron and its influences in the houses and planets. But anyways, so with this new moon in Chiron, there's some difficult aspects, but it's actually going to be very beneficial because it's going to give us like, okay, this is what's changing in my foundation. So it's going to give us a better understanding, looking at the details of the structure of our lives. What's here, what's got to go, what's got to stay, what do I want, what do I not want. It's going to give us clarity, and it's going to give us the energy to go in and dive into the details of setting up this new stage for this process, right? It rules, Virgo rules the 6th house. It rules the steps. It rules how you do the process. It rules going through the motions. It rules making shit happen. All right. It can be mundane, but if you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, like this is where we're at right now, and this is what we have to make happen. So while all this static energy is here, it's sitting there giving us like a snapshot of the bigger picture to allow us to go into it and to pick up the details. So take advantage of this energy and really go into it and look at the details in your life and look at what you're feeling whenever you're thinking about looking at something, feeling something, seeing what's in your reality. And if something feels off, if you're trying to force something, then it's not for you. And that may come down to like a value issue. Like, okay, well, I did this way because I valued this like this. So maybe I need to rethink my value system. All right. Maybe I was attached to some kind of limiting belief that is keeping me in this rigid structure. All right. We are shifting structures. What's up, Kelly? All right. Awesome. You start part 2. I'm very excited to hear how you like it. So with this, with getting into these new structures, right? We may have been stuck in a belief system or a value system or a moral or ethical issue. Like, this is how deep it's getting, guys. Like our morals, our ethics, our value systems are breaking open to be looked at very, very deeply. And as we're looking at this, especially with Mars retrograde, this is bringing in the ego aspect. Like, how does our ego attach to the beliefs, to the patterns, to the structures that are going on? And and where is that holding me back? Where is this keeping me in a self-limiting place? Okay, now during this new moon, we have Uranus sesquiquadrate to the new moon. So that is interesting because, well, Uranus just brings a surprising, like, what the fuck kind of energy into everything that it touches. And with it in retrograde now at 10 degrees, it's at the last decan of the first, at the last degree of the first decan, at the first degree of the second decan. Okay, it's in that sort of like middle space. So this is where we're evolving, and then we got to look over some stuff real quick. And when it sets a quadrate, this is bringing up some past life shit. Okay, this being up. Well, you did things before this way, like maybe like something was familiar from a past life or even a past experience that we got to switch this because this is blocking you. This is bringing up a lot of blockages. Okay, but the energy that's coming through to help us see our blockages are in these flow state aha moments. So you can't try to control it. You can't try to figure it out. Really, it's all about just being in this, being centered and being in your heart center and listening to that guidance and trying to stay away from the control dynamic, which is difficult because Virgo likes to control shit, right? So it's finding that balance between flow state and control state and being in that place where it feels right and you're not trying to control or push anything, but you're also not just being airy-fairy and just doing whatever, okay? So this energy is encouraging that process. Now, I will say that this new moon is also square the nodes. And, with Neptune at 19 degrees too, that is square the nodes too. So we have a mutable square here. Between the nodes and the sun, moon, and Neptune. So this makes it very, very big, very, very faded, very intense. Now, of course, full moons, new moons are always intense, but this is really destined. And it's sort of like it's going to be another course correction, right? Where are we going? What are we doing? Why? You're going to be asking yourself all these questions. What the hell am I doing? Where am I going? Why am I doing that? What, why, who, where, how, when? But be careful not to get trapped in that analysis paralysis, right? Because that analysis paralysis can kind of knock us off our balance and be like, oh shit, now what do I do? This is where, you find yourself getting in, hey, what's up, girl? This is where, getting into that center space and then going into flow state, then you find yourself getting into that control dynamic, then coming back to flow state. Okay, so this is a lot. It requires a lot of feeling things through, feeling it out, feeling what feels right. Okay, and this is also going to be if you have any kind of Virgo to me represents the physical body too, like digestion, like taking care of the physical body, nutrition and all that stuff. So if you start having a difficult time digesting food, means you're probably having a difficult time digesting emotions. If you are having pains in your body, there's energy, that Kundalini energy is moving up through your body. So allow it to go through. Maybe if you're like me, I know I have a vertebrae. I can feel it. It came out last week. So I'm gonna go see my chiropractor friend in the next couple of days to get that knocked back in there so I can get back to the gym. Because right now I go try to work out, and when you have something out of place, something like that, when it's in the center of your being, when it's out of alignment, you try to work out, it creates inflammation. Boom, it makes everything else hurt, right? So I just been doing yoga and stretching. Yes, I do a lot of stretching. I do a lot of yoga. I actually don't even really lift too heavy anymore, right? Lower back, huge, okay? And so that is where, pigeon pose for lower back pain all the time. And decompression, right? Get out into nature. Just get to stretch that shit, dude. Hell yeah. All right. So on the 18th, we have the moon going to be going into Libra and conjuncting with Mercury. Now, Mercury with Libra, and it's going to be opposing Chiron and Black Moon Lilith. Okay, so whenever there's an opposition like this is people in our experience are bringing up these vulnerable emotions. You might have to have a vulnerable conversation with someone else, with yourself. All right. This is going to be the Aries Libra axis is all about our relationship with ourselves and others. And especially with Mars being retrograde there, this is about our ego too. Okay. Having a little conversation. Our higher self is speaking to us loud and clear right now. Okay. What do we want? What are we going to do? Where are we going to go? And really making sure that we're stepping in to this brutal honesty with ourselves. Okay. So on the 19th, we're going to be having the moon opposing Mars retrograde. So that can be a little bit of a frustrating day. Okay. But other than that, it's not too crazy. But when we come into the 21st, the end of the week, this is the last full week of Virgo season, right? We're going to be coming to Libra season pretty soon. Can you believe it? So, you know, happy birthday to all my Virgos, and pretty soon, happy birthday to all my Libras out there. All right. That's and that's gonna, you know, and remember, that's coming into a more cardinal sign. So right now we're very static, and we're shifting, we're changing gears. And then when we get into Libra, we're going to be wanting to take action again on something new. All right. So on the 21st, we have 2 yods. All right. 2 yods. Let's see. Let's look at the first one. The first one is between Mars retrograde and the North Node, sextile, both quincunx to the moon. And the moon is pretty much quincunx to White Moon Selena. White Moon Selena is at 18 degrees of Scorpio. So with the moon conjunct White Moon Selena, this is really beautiful. But with the yod being here, this is saying that we may be getting an uptick or like an enhancement in our intuitive capacity or our spiritual desire, like our desire to attain this deeper level of understanding of our gift. All right. Or I mean, we've been getting pretty consistent and constant attunements and like up regulations in our spiritual practice, in the depth of our energy work and our connection to our energy. But you know, but with the yod here too, collectively, this is just boop, giving like the collective a little like a little booster shot, if you will, right? Of energetic sensitivity. Not like we need anymore, right? But this is gonna be good because we may, like, say you have a loved one, right? And you're giving each other a little shoulder massage, right? And then you're doing it, then you just get into it and you really start to feel it. You close your eyes and you start taking deep breaths together. And then you both start like seeing shit in your third eye, and then you start opening it up, and then bam, you have a big realization like, wow, let's go fuck. You know, I'm just saying, like weird stuff like, you know, like kind of like that's going to start popping off. And of course, you know, if you're a couple, you know, get that Kundalini energy rolling, it's no joke. So get that Kundalini rolling, baby. Very, very important for manifestation. Okay. Now we also, oh shit, you know what? I think we have 3 yods. Let's see here. So our next yod is between the moon and Saturn. I'd say Saturn and Pluto and the North Node. Okay. Yes, we have 3 yods. 3 yods on the 21st. So we're ending Virgo season with a bang, guys. I think the 21st is probably going to even be like more significant and or intense than the new moon. So the moon sextile Saturn, that's good. Emotionally, we're connecting to this new understanding of this structure that we're forming again in our lives and our consciousness, and where it's like we're getting this even deeper of a drive to go towards the North Node. But it's, you know, the key to the yod is faith. All right, the deeper your faith is, the more efficiently you're going to go into the energy, because it's about feeling your way through it, not necessarily because you're not going to know. There's no logical way to traverse a quincunx. Okay, it's like this feeling that feels off, and as you learn how to connect the 2 planets that are in sextile, which in this case is the moon and Saturn, this is the discipline, the structure emotionally. Okay, you're disciplining and structuring your emotions so that every step you take, you're being aware and you're moving through it. Okay. And with the North Node in Gemini, keeping your focus on community, keeping your focus on taking care of the people that are around, keeping your focus on speaking your mind, right? Of communicating your presence, of being there for the ones that you love. Now, we also have Neptune and Jupiter sextile, both quincunx to Venus. That is pretty major. So this Jupiter Neptune sextile has been going on for the last couple months, and that's been a beautiful, like, keeping our spiritual and energetic sensitivity high, and getting the spiritual spiritual gifts really just coming like on point, like go. Now with it being, excuse me, with Venus quincunx to Neptune like this. Now Neptune's retrograde, Venus is direct. Whenever Venus and Neptune are in an aspect particularly like this is going to have to do with our relationship with love and, the way that we feel love. Okay. This is really grounding. And I mean, when Jupiter is in an aspect with Venus, in any way, shape, or form, it's good because they're both very beneficial or benefic energies. So with these two benefic energies like this, it's like something good could come out of fucking nowhere, right? Like this is actually a super positive yod, where some kind of beautiful gift is gonna come. Like you could just out of nowhere, through doing what you love, meet the love of your life, or you could have a connection with someone that's just super deep. You're like, whoa, where did that come from, right? So I think the universe is blessing us, and for everyone's going to be a little bit different. Look at where 16 degrees of Leo is in your chart, and you can see where that's going to affect you. But I think it's going to be a really beautiful day. It may be a really emotionally intense day, like a lot of emotional purging, emotional processing, but really setting the stage to start something new. Maybe you're going to start something new with somebody new. Maybe you're going to have a new collaboration, or you're going to actually meet somebody and be like, wow. Or maybe you're with a partner and you guys are going to like connect or click at this new, deeper level. You'd be like, wow, I didn't see that coming. Because Venus and Leo, it's all about the heart chakra, opening up the heart. It's about stepping into a leadership role for yourself in your own life. All right. Being your own cheerleader. Woo. Okay. And of course, on the 21st, we have the sun at 28 degrees of Virgo, which is, a master number, and just 2 degrees away here from Libra. So this is really segueing. Like this is a really good sort of ending to Virgo season and segueing into Libra season, where we are, the first, part of Libra season is still going to be a little stagnant. And this is where we're going to start focusing, of course, more on relationships, because that's what Libra is about, right? Balancing things out. All right. So in the last couple of weeks, we've probably had a lot of, I know I have, and I'm sure you have, a lot of things shifting and changing, relationships changing, surprise things coming up that are having like very interesting and unexpected outcomes that are making things happen in some very unexpected directions. So with these energies right here, and right here too, during this day, Uranus is sesquiquadrate the south node, and that aspect will be hanging out for a while. So that's all past life thing. So letting go, this could be like past life, a lot of past life stuff going on here. Past life stuff, people, memories. Maybe you're doing past life regression, past life healing, because we are ending the age of Pisces here, right? So all these energies right now, we are literally working through 2,000 years of karma. That's why it's so fucking intense. And that's why it's moving faster and faster. We need to clear this shit out now so we can be ready for after December 21st, when we have that massive apex and we go into this new vibration. So if you're curious more about the December 21st thing, you can check out my Mars retrograde video on YouTube. So that is what I have for you guys here. Actually, while the sun is getting to the end of Virgo, it's going to be starting to come into its opposition with Black Moon Lilith and Chiron. So Black Moon Lilith has been sort of like ping-ponging back and forth between Uranus and Chiron. And it's been conjuncting Chiron, Mars, and Uranus back and forth for all years. So this is really just like clearing out like addictions, bad habits, like like things that are out of balance in our life, bringing up and looking at things that are just not working anymore, and kind of like calling us out on our bullshit. And this is going to be right here with all these quincunxes and yods. It's going to be a day where we're going to have to let go of control and just let things be what they are, because if we try to figure it out, we're going to drive ourselves crazy. There's a lot of etheric energy going on right here. And of course, with the sun being at 28 degrees of Virgo, it's kind of like, I want to control it. I want to understand. I want to figure it out. I want to know. So be careful of, that feeling, and allow it to be okay to not know. I mean, you're going to kind of have to. All right. We actually have like 3.5 yods here, because we have 2 quincunxes, but no sextile. But And that's going to Mars. So there's a lot with all this quincunx energy. People are going to be just like, huh? Spacey, confused. What the hell is going on? I don't get it. Okay. But also a lot of psychic imprints, a lot of downloads, a lot of uploads, a lot of clearing, a lot of purging, a lot of unexpected new directions and new things happening. So expect the unexpected come early next week, this weekend into next week. And get ready for, I'm really feeling like a lot of new beginnings that they're going to start slow in some ways, but they're going to come in so surprising. And I think there's actually going to be some really good things, especially for those of you that have been doing the work. I know everybody that's watching this is definitely, living the lifestyle of doing this work and staying high vibe and, growing and learning and processing. So, stay the conscious observer of your experiences, going on right now. And just practice gratitude, like really focus on practicing gratitude and watch those control dynamics, because those control dynamics are what's going to probably drive you a little bit fucking crazy if you try to hold on to them. Okay. But guys, that is what I have for you right now. So thank you so very much for tuning in. And if you resonate with this, please like, share, subscribe. I really appreciate it. You can go to my website for readings, for my astrology course, for the opportunity community, and to download my free ebook. All right. So I love you guys very much. I appreciate you. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you guys on the next report.